Harry, good to see you in the lineup today. It was one of those games where there was so much decent football, you had so much of the ball. Was it enjoyable out there today?
Yeah, it was. It was really enjoyable. You know, we started with the right intensity. That's what made it easier for us. You know, we didn't give them any chance to breathe, any chance to dream. So, you know, when we do that and we apply ourselves in the right way, then, you know, it's luckily for us, it was a good game for us today.
You know what's coming. I mean, you got yourself on the score sheet. The question everyone wants to know is, did you mean it?
You know, I'd love to sit here and say that I did.
Because Ben Davies just walked past and said you didn't.
Yeah, and I'd love to say I did, but I've got to be honest. No, I didn't mean it. No, I saw Gaz running, making that run, just overhit it. But I'll take it. It's a goal at the end of the day, and yeah, I'm really happy to get on the score sheet.
Yeah, because to be honest, in the slow-mos, we could sort of see you looking at Gareth as well. So we did wonder.
Yeah.
And for you, like for your confidence, because obviously, you know, you're not starting in the lineup like you usually did. How important are games like this to sort of prove something, not just to yourself but to the manager as well? Yeah,
you know, they're important games, and they're games that we're expected to win. So it's always a difficult game to come into these matches. But you know, for confidence wise and for fitness wise, it's good to stay fit, stay in and around the team, and yeah, build my confidence back up, and you know, to score and to play well and to win the game. It's always a positive and nice feeling after a game. Is it tough being on the sort of fringes a little bit this time? Yeah, it is tough. It's very difficult, but you know, all I can do is when I get opportunities like this is to play well, score. It's your first in almost 2 years. Yeah, I know. It's been a while, but. You know, I'm happy with the way that the team played. You know how I played, and it was a good result and a result that we needed to get as well. Well done today. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, well done indeed. He had a good game this evening. Nice to see him back in Tottenham's plans as well. But that was a really bad good cross, or a really good bad cross, whichever way you want to look at it. At least he's been honest, though.
Yeah, fair play to Harry Winks. I've known players, we both have, haven't we? Let's be honest.
Who claimed the goal?
Who would have claimed that without a doubt, but. It was the way he looked up and he spotted Gareth Bale's run down the right-hand side. He was obviously looking for that, but it did look amazing from that angle. It does look like he meant it from there, but I think we all knew he didn't.
If he'd have said he meant it, you couldn't have argued necessarily.
Don't tell anyone, Jay. Just pretend like you meant it. I mean, to be fair, Gareth does well, because Gareth almost celebrates like he's, watch Gareth puts his hand up almost like, well done, like great finish, but. I think he's trying to shape
it's that angle
Gareth.
Where you can see him looking. You can see him looking for Gareth. But listen, there's plenty of players that would have lied there, 100%.
Feels good when it happens, right?
Yeah, well, I meant all mine.
Yeah, of course. I want to talk about his long-term future under Jose Mourinho at Tottenham. How do you see it playing out?
Well, it was interesting. You saw his touches there, 125 touches. That would have been the most in the game. Yeah. So that's Harry Winks is a ball player. You know, he wants to get on the ball. I think now they've gone away. They've got to Højbjerg, who's been great, and he's more in that mould of, Crouchy just made a good point about, back to those Chelsea days, they were quite tough and rugged in there with Essien and Mikel. And Harry's not that type, but he can be a great player in certain games where you're going to dominate like they did today, and he's perfect to get on the ball and pass around with an Ndombele, and I thought he did great today.
I worried for him when Mourinho first came in, because you don't necessarily think Harry Winks is a Mourinho-type player. You think of like Sissoko and Højbjerg now probably are the two that are going to sit in there. Winks will have to bide his time for his opportunity, but I think he did well tonight, and as most of them did, they want the fringe players to get in the eye of the manager.
But in many ways, this is a more important part of his career than when he's just waltzing into starting lineups and the manager has him as the first name on the team sheet. This tells you everything you need to know about his mentality, his approach, his hard work, taking his chances. Yeah,
but it's probably in the mould of a Tottenham player maybe from Glenn's day, let's say, because he's a footballer, let's be honest. But notoriously, Mourinho doesn't, he wants people that win the ball back and lets his probably front three sort of take care of the rest of it. So you do fear for him in that point of view, but he's such a good player. I think he will force his way back in there, and he will play a part in this Spurs side without a doubt.
And in the Euros, and it's an important year for getting games under his belt with that on the horizon, isn't it?
Yeah, I just think you need to make it difficult on the manager. You don't want people to pigeonhole you and think, oh, he's a defensive midfield player, or he's just a passer. Show that you can actually, win balls back, and you can press. You can do those little things that Mourinho wants. And then, like we saw with Delhi, when you do those little things well, then you can show you can get on the ball, press high, and play those key passes. He can do that. But I think maybe those little moments that Crouchy was mentioned, that defensive side, if you can do more of that, then I think he makes it hard to get out of the team.
Yeah, well, certainly he's given Jose food for thought this evening. Let's talk about another young man who's making the manager think about his place in the team. Do you want to head over to the touchscreen? Because Vinicius gets 2 goals tonight, but Dele Alli is the person that we were all talking about while we were watching the game together. What did you make of his overall performance, Ali?
Yeah, I think we were all just really excited just to, just to see Dele Alli play. That's Dele Alli in the hole there. I think we're just going to run this a little bit slower.
These are the pockets you want him in.
Yeah,
right?
this
is where he needs to play.
Checking his shoulder, don't you, Crouchy?
Yeah, a little check of the shoulder. I thought it was a great pass from Ndombele.
That's the one you mean, don't you? You like that one, do you? Breaks the lines, doesn't it?
If you look how deep Ludogorets are, it takes quick, incisive passes to take the. So he's taken 3 players out there with 1 pass. Then Dele Alli again on the half turn, a fantastic turn. He's obvious he's looking for Gareth Bale with the pass, but it finds its way to Vinicius and gives the keeper the eyes. Great finish.
Yeah, and I thought that it was, as you said, it was a good, almost a different spine to the team in terms of, the way that they played. And Ndombele was driving brilliantly from midfield, and you just see it there. Really, the 4 players are thinking, I'm going to give an angle here, aren't they? But then once he breaks between those lines, Crouchy, then he's off. They're trying to get on the end of things. I thought Ndombele was terrific driving from that midfield.
Yeah, that was key, wasn't it? Ndombele there. If you've got someone in midfield who can drive like that, the 3 forwards there can stay away, and Dele Alli's the first to react. And how about that? When you haven't played for as long as Dele hasn't played for, I know what I'd be doing in that situation.
Everyone is shooting, aren't they?
The goal's gaping, you haven't played, you haven't scored for a little while. But for him to have the presence of mind to pull that back to Vinicius was fantastic, I thought.
Yeah, credit to Dele for actually cutting that back, because that takes... And I think that just shows, he's got all that class, hasn't he, Dele, in terms of could have done it himself and squared it. And this one we like, Crouchy, didn't we?
Yeah, well, this for me, it was just all about the press. I think it's Clark who came on, who initiates the first press.
He's getting up there, isn't he? And as you said, this is late in the game, and they're almost playing in this Mourinho way, aren't they? Hard working, everybody's getting after it.
Yeah, well, you've got Clark with the first press, and then when this ball gets played into the deep line midfield player there, and Dele Alli's on his bike.
Dele's on, and then again, we see the same with Højbjerg, and I think Winks, they're all kind of a part of that, aren't they? They're kind of getting after things.
But bear in mind, this is the 4th goal, This is late on in the game. The game's won, and they're still pressing. They're still on top of people. And then from here on in, it's just all about the quality, wasn't it?
It's nice to see that in those moments, even those little things where they press, but then also the quality can come out with Dele with that chip into the box. We've been really impressed with Vinicius, haven't we, in terms of just his touch.
Yeah, after the press there, the ability, the pass from Dele, the touch from Vinicius. I think he had 3 touches. It was Kane-like, if you want. Fantastic play.
Let's just see that again, because I don't think people are going to appreciate. Actually, he did it in the first game, didn't he, Crouch? Is in terms of his touch. He set 2 up in the first game.
Oh, he's a player. Let's be honest.
But let's just run this a bit slower. Look at this touch.
The presence of mind there, the awareness to have the touch. 3 perfect touches there, and don't underestimate the finish by Mourinho. Beautiful, beautiful.
Very nice. Right, make your way back up here, because you mentioned how impressed you were with the mindset of keeping on going and getting that 4th goal. With Dele Alli tonight, how much was it the football that impressed you? How much was it the mindset that impressed you, that sort of aggression on the pitch?
Yeah, I think as Owen alluded to it early doors, I think when you think of Dele Alli, when he first broke in, and that's when he was at his best, I think that he was hungry, he was aggressive, there was an edge to him that perhaps like a Steven Gerrard had, it was maybe borderline, is he going to get sent off, And he was playing on the edge, and I just think that was when he was at his best. And these are little moments that, although, listen, not everyone likes to see that kind of stuff, but I think that's how Dele Alli's got to be if he wants to get back we know he can get to.
It's going to be a challenge for him, isn't it? Because he's hardly been involved. This is his first start in a month. Every game before tonight, he was hooked early.
No, but it took those moments to build a bit of confidence, and then the flair comes out. We saw the touches, 80 touches. That's great. Think back to some of the games. I think it was the one where they lost him and they played really poorly. The whole team struggled. Every time he took it, it was a bit safe. There wasn't that confidence there because he wasn't playing, and I get that. But I think when you, as Crouchy just highlighted, when you get physical and you get into the game, you get angry. He plays with a chip on his shoulder, and then you see the flair, and I'm happy for him because I think there's a really special player in Dele, and he's too good not to be playing football.
And we have to be careful because we know it's the Europa League against Ludogorets, right? It's not the weekend against Chelsea or anything. But the pressure on him at the moment, having been one of the Tottenham star men over the past couple of seasons, and then the new manager comes in and he's less involved, there's a lot going on, I'm sure, in his head at the moment.
Well, let's not underestimate what he achieved at 18, 19 years old. You know, when he was signed from Milton Keynes, I think he scored. He got to 50-odd goals quicker than Steven Gerrard and Frank Lampard, and that's how good he was. It was incredible. But I think he's just fell away for whatever reason, and now he needs to get back to that level, because I'm sure he will do, and I think Tottenham fans will hope that will be in the Tottenham shirt.
And when he's good, what a difference maker he can be for them.
Yeah, and I think the good thing is I think you can look at what's happened with Ndombele last year, and all of a sudden now what he's giving to the team and how important he is. Dele could easily do that. Dele is a really special player, but I think if he's going to play in there, he's got to get the goals, he's got to get the assists, and he's got to play with that chip. Mourinho loves that. Mourinho loves guys that, you know, that are a bit angry, to be fair. And I think Dele suits him, but I just think if he can play like he did today, he'll play a lot more.
What would his role be on the weekend?
Well,
bench?
Well, I think the starting 11 is set as it is, but I think if you've got to find a guy that's, 6'4", that can affect games. He can get in the box. You know, if they get crosses in and Dele's in there, Crouch, he's a handful to mark, isn't he?
Yeah, the difficulty is the last game Tottenham played was Man City, and they were fantastic. It was a clean sheet. You know, they dominated Man City. I thought they're top of the league. These fringe players that have come in tonight, although they've done well, you can't argue with what's been playing ahead of them at the moment. They're top of the league. They've been playing fantastically well, and they can't argue when they're sitting on the bench, perhaps on the weekend.
We have seen them in the past. Players that change Jose Mourinho's mind, they almost have more standing with Jose, don't they? Because he calls them out as someone who he thought wouldn't work, and they have.
Well, that's it. What we saw tonight was the importance of the squad and the quality they've got in depth now. Yeah. There's a lot to be.
It's good, isn't it? I suppose it's a scrap to get in that starting 11.
Well, of course there is, but I mean that's what you want. If you're Jose Mourinho, you want those players looking good, scoring goals, full of confidence, and being able to come in, because there will be injuries. There's so many games.
Yeah.
Jose, congratulations. It was a very sort of one-sided, dominant performance. Don't know if it was a bit too easy, actually. Got 4 goals, but really good to build the momentum, and now you only need a draw to progress. That's pretty much the job that you wanted done today.
Yeah, it was important. There is, as I was saying, there is a risk of every team gets 6 points against them, and if that happens, to qualify you need a lot of points, of course. Normally 9 points would be job done, but it's not done. So, as you say, you need a result, but if you can also finish first, we are going to try. But today was important. We made lots of changes, but it was important to take it seriously, and was good.
Vinicius getting his first 2 goals today, and Lucas on the score sheet as well. But Harry Winks, I mean, he told us he didn't mean that goal. But it was pretty spectacular, wasn't it?
To be honest, I'm not happy with him. I told him, a goal like that, you have to say that you want to do it. But, good kid, honest, and he told you the truth.
And someone like Harry, who's trying to sort of fight his way back into contention, and all the other players out there today, how important are these games to sort of build their confidence and show what they can do?
Yeah, the games are important. Every game is important. We don't look to a certain competition. We look to game after game. To play every time the same players is not good for the players' condition, and is not also good for the mentality of the ones that are never playing. You work hard, you deserve to play. I can only start 11, but I want to give chances to everybody. So I'm happy for them, and some players had really nice performances. Jeff Tanganga is the first match after long-term injury. A nice opportunity for the kids to get into the club history and to make their own history. For 0-3 points, that's good.
How impressed were you with the kids?
I know them well. Harvey works with us every day in our squad, the same as Jack Clark. Scarlett did the pre-season with us and played with us some pre-season matches. So we know what they can do, but has to be in the right moments, with the right pressure, and today was the kind of game that was perfect for them to have a little bit.
Well, as we said, it is 5 wins in a row. Chelsea at the weekend. That game has spice, whether you're part of it or not, but it's a good one at this time. Has it come at a good time, do you think?
You know, a big game is a big game, but in the Premier League, I don't make any difference, because in every game you can lose points, you can win points. Every opponent is difficult, so in the end, it's not different. As I was saying in the beginning of the season, we don't look to the table, we look to matches, and we go there to try to win.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Jose.
you.